Ah, what a beautiful day. Raining or not, sunny or not, it's a beautiful day. So today's talk is faith that works. And I bring this up for a very specific reason. We can have faith in a lot of things. We can have faith in people. You know, sometimes you need to have faith in people when you call somebody and you're in an emergency and they call back. They say, I'll be right there, right? And it's because you have this trust, this confidence that when you reach out, they're going to come and help you. We can have faith in things. Now this seems like a little strange, but it's true. If you're crossing a rope bridge over a 200-foot canyon, you're going to have faith. You got to have a little faith that the rope bridge is going to hold you. Anybody ever done that? I have. It requires a lot of faith to take the first step. That's often true of many things. But what I want to talk about is a faith that works. And what I'm talking about is a faith in a power greater than ourselves that can help us and we can use it. And I know this for a specific fact. You see, next Saturday, I will celebrate 22 years of sobriety. I usually don't say this because, you know, like I'm real big on the anonymity thing. But on the other hand, I'm standing in front of a camera, in front of a crowd of people saying this. I guess that just went out the door. There was a time in my life where I could not believe that I could stop doing what I was doing in self-destructive behaviors. I was on the border of insanity. I was committable. I was not trustable. I was not employable. I was pretty much a scumbag, honestly. Hard to believe now. It really is. It's hard to believe now. And I could not believe that there was any way that I could get out of that because what I was running on was self-will. And that self-will was so powerful. And I'm good. And I've always known that I'm good. And I'm smart. And I've always known that I'm smart. And I'm capable. And I've always known that I'm capable. And I'm egotistical. And I had no clue that I was egotistical. And so I had taken all of the abilities that I was given. I had taken all of the talents and the gifts that came into my life by right of who I am. Right? I am a creative visual artist. And I had taken that from a place of not knowing what to do with that, doing little sketches, to becoming a professional artist who was a principal in a design firm here in Philadelphia. I was a carpenter and good with my hands. I painted for many years, built many houses, built many beautiful places. Love that. You know, I mean, those are the things that were good in my life that I was good at doing. I was good at a number of different things, but what I was not good at was trusting and having a little bit of faith that there was a purpose to all this other than self-gratification. My entire journey up until a certain point in my life was about self-gratification. And I thought I had it made. I was there, you know. I was working good jobs, then they started to disappear. I was working good relationships, then they started to disappear, you know. I was having my life fall apart, and at one point I was in a place of absolute black despair with no faith at all, because all I had was the individual idea that I was against the world and the world was crushing me. Now, that changed in a little moment, just one single moment, in which I recognized that I needed to learn something new and have faith in something else. Not other than myself, as well as myself. Something that was larger, that there was a purpose that I maybe needed to look for in what this exploration of life was about, that I could trust just a little bit. And so in the middle of the night one night, I did what I was completely unprepared to do. I asked a power that I didn't understand, had no clue about, but had not recognized had been working in my life all along, for help. And that little bit of surrender brought me to a place in which I was open to a new idea. I was open to the idea that things could change, that there may be something in my life that I could grasp onto that was good at a time when I felt nothing but despair, and change my life around into something new, into something else. You see, I was without God. in my life at that time. And when I say without God, I mean it in a slightly different way. It didn't mean that I had no God. I had always believed in some kind of spirituality and some kind of purpose to all this, and I had let that go down a path of self-indulgence. But I was without God because it was not within. It was the God out there. Now, I was raised in a liberal sort of Christian community. Fellow travelers, I like to think of them now. Unitarians, love them, great, to whom it may concern. And I was very, very much seeking something new, something that would fill this void that I was feeling at that time. And so I got into exploring not the power without, but the power within. You see, that power without that was out there, I had been led to believe was, the trickster God. You ever hear of the trickster God? Right? I pray for prosperity. My great aunt that I love dearly dies and leaves me a fortune. That's the trickster God. That concept that there's this, you guys know the story of the monkey's paw? It's an old story. It's an old Arabian story. It's a story of this magical item, this monkey's paw that has been imbued with supernatural powers, and once you get it, you can ask it for 3 wishes. It's sort of like the genie thing. They like that in the Arabian world. Right? So you can ask this monkey's paw for a wish once you possess it, and it will grant your wishes, but it always grants your wish as some terrible thing happening to fulfill your desire. Your desire gets fulfilled, but you pay for it dearly. That's the trickster God. So I believed in that for a while. And then I got into New Thought. And New Thought is a wonderful thing. You learn about there are principles in the universe that you can utilize to get things in your life. This is the Santa God. The Santa God is when we first learn that if I pray correctly and understand that this is a good that nothing is stopping for me or from me from having, then it will manifest in my life as soon as I believe that I'm ready to accept it and receive it. And this is a great place to be. It is much, much better than that place of despair and hopelessness and powerlessness. And I'm all for it because we all need training wheels. We all need those training wheels to move from a place of not believing we are worthy of receiving our good to a place in which we recognize the truth that the good is inherent for us. We are, by right of our inheritance, as children of a divine idea, that good is already present in our lives. And all we have to do is open to receive it. And that's what practical prayer is about. Okay? That's the Santa God. And then it comes to this idea that I'm good enough and I can receive this good. And then it starts to not be enough again. And there's a deeper level that we can go to in this. And this is where I'm talking about the faith that works. See, once we've realized that we can manifest what we want in our lives by aligning our thoughts with the natural good that surrounds us and accept that, then there's the question of what do we do with that? Right? Where do we go next with that? We have discovered there's a power we can use. That power is within. But here's the news. God can only do for you what God can do through you. And faith that works is this idea of trust and confidence that there is a power that I can use right now to gain guidance and the strength and the clarity of purpose to move into the next place of being the good that I wish to receive in the world. Of being that gift shining our light. Sean's up here singing away and beautiful. Breen's up here singing away and beautiful. Things we didn't think we could do. And you know why I know this works? Because my biggest terror was public speaking. I have a power greater than myself that allows me to get clarity to come up here on a every other week basis and tell you some piece of my soul when I don't want to. Because quite frankly, I'd rather be home playing video games.
I can attest to that.
I know you can. But God can only do for me what God can do through me. And what that has brought me about to understand is that if we have faith that there is anything that is this larger purpose in life, whatever you call it, spirit, God, Allah, universe, life itself, whatever name you give it, if there is a purpose to it, the purpose is for you to express that purpose. We each have an individual idea of the clarity of what our lives are about. We can do whatever we have to do to explore that idea, clarify that idea, and then bring that idea into the world. And it may challenge you to do it. And that's a good thing. Because without the challenges, life would be a boring, dull road. And we would all be in despair. So I invite you, as you go through this week, to look inside, to listen to the inner voice that is talking to you about what brings you delight, what brings you joy, what brings you bliss. Can you imagine walking around in bliss all the time? Wow. Let me know when you get there. I'd like to follow. And use that in a daily way about how you can give to somebody else that which you wish to experience. Bring that to somebody else. Let that faith work through you so that you can bring the work to the next person who may be in trouble, who may be feeling isolated, who may feel despair, who may feel the need to share the joy that they're sharing with the world. I invite you, I beseech you, please allow yourself to be that light. Because I know you are. I know you are each brilliant lights of this divine idea of life, brought here by divine appointment. The fact that you are here alive and conscious today is the reason for us to be here, to share the gifts that we've been given. Please. Namaste.